Nowadays, it's become a common trend for everyone to seek happiness through shopping. We convince ourselves that buying things will take care of our well-being, even if it means plunging ourselves deeper into debt. But hold on a second. Don't you believe you're immune to the age-old strategy of luring customers into buying more? We're living in the age of minimalism, right? How many times have you found yourself irritated by an ad, interrupting what you were watching, swearing that it wouldn't influence you to buy something you don't even want, and yet somehow you end up making that purchase anyway? It's easy to think these tactics are ineffective, but if they weren't working, companies wouldn't keep using them for years on end. Clearly, there's a method to this madness, and you might be surprised by just how meticulously it's crafted. Sure, we're aware of some basic tricks like placing commonly bought items at the back of the store, forcing us to pass through enticing displays before reaching what we actually need. That's why they put milk back there. It's a common necessity that makes us see as many products as possible before we reach it. And let's not forget those buy one get one free offers that tempt us into buying more items for marginal discounts. Exposure through billboards and ads also plays a significant role in marketing. But here's the part you probably didn't know. Our minds are being studied at a deep level to understand our patterns and predict our choices even before we're aware of them ourselves. This is where neuromarketing comes in. It all starts with how our brains perceive things. Instead of perceiving things in absolute terms, we perceive them relatively based on the stimuli around us. Take unlocking a phone for example. If someone does it in a well-lit environment, the change in brightness is hardly noticeable. But in a dark movie theater, the same change can be overwhelmingly bright. Although the actual change in brightness is the same in both cases, our perceptions differ greatly. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the fascinating world of neuromarketing and uncover the mind-bending techniques used to manipulate our perception and influence our decisions. Don't be fooled into thinking you're immune to these strategies. By understanding how they work, we can become more mindful consumers and reclaim control over our choices. So buckle up and get ready to uncover the secrets of neuromarketing that are shaping our shopping habits and consumer culture. You know, it's fascinating how our perception works. We don't just interpret things as they are, we compare them to what we're already experiencing. Let me explain with an example. Imagine you're in a noisy room and suddenly you hear a glass breaking. Chances are you might not even notice it because of the loud environment already drowns out the sound of the glass break. However, if you're in a quiet room and hear the same glass break, it will feel much louder. This phenomenon is known as Weber's Law and applies to various aspects of our lives, from astronomy to music theory. But here's the twist. This concept of relative perception doesn't just apply to sounds, stars, and melodies. It also affects how we perceive prices. Yes, you heard that right. Prices. It turns out that our perception of price changes depends on the original price of the product. Companies can actually use this to their advantage. They can gradually increase the price of a product over time as long as the increments stay just below our perception threshold. So it's relatively kinda sneaky. And it's not just the price itself, it's also about how much disposable income we have. People in different countries perceive the price of a commodity based on their financial situation. That's why some products can thrive in the US despite price increases, but struggle in places like China. It's all about the disposable income factor. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. Our minds can be tricked by seemingly irrelevant numbers too. Imagine being asked to determine how much you'd pay for a certain product. But before making up your mind, you're asked to think about the last few digits of your social security number. Surprisingly, participants with higher social security numbers tend to offer higher prices. It's a phenomenon called anchoring. Those random numbers influence your perception and make you more generous with your bids. In fact, this anchoring effect is cleverly used in marketing strategies. Have you ever noticed those counters at fast food chains displaying large numbers? They serve a purpose beyond indicating when your order is ready. They actually prime you to be more accepting of paying a bit more. Another common method is when sellers say things like, "Normally you'd have to pay this amount of money for the product like this, but not with us." They're trying to anchor your perception to a higher price and make their offer seem like a steal. Let's take Apple as an example. When the iPhone was first introduced in 2007, it had a hefty price tag of over $499, maybe even higher in some places, which is quite a lot, especially for a product that was relatively new to the market. But Apple used a smart strategy. They aimed to capture those customers who could afford the high price and were eager to own the latest innovative gadget. Once they reached that demographic, they significantly dropped the prices, making it more accessible to the broader market. By doing so, they made it seem like they were practically giving away the phone at a massive discount. The initial high price served as an anchor that made the eventual lower price appear incredibly attractive. Apple has a sneaky pricing strategy that I find quite intriguing. Have you ever noticed how they always price their products $1 less than the next big number, like $499 instead of $500 and $999 instead of that flat $1,000? At first, I thought it was because they wanted us to feel like we're paying $400 and something instead of a full $500. It's like we're psychologically closer to the lower number. But guess what? That's not entirely true. When it comes to whole numbers, our minds actually perceive fair prices as whole number increments below them. So if something has a price tag of $20, we tend to think it deserves a price of $17 or $18. And if an item is priced at $19.95, our brains think a deserving price would be something like $19.50 or $19.30. It's fascinating how our perception works, right? Interestingly, even though $19.95 is lower than the $20 price tag, customers would actually be happier if the price were a few cents lower. A study conducted at the University of Florida tested this idea. Participants were asked to estimate the prices of items up for auction. The prices were $4,988, $5,000, and $5,012. Despite being very close to each other, the group tasked with estimating the price of the $5,000 item estimated the lowest prices overall, even the $5,012 group. With just a $12 difference, they were willing to pay more for the same item. It just goes to show how much our perception affects our purchasing decisions. But wait, there's more. Companies sometimes use products they know won't sell well as decoys to make other products seem more desirable. It's all about creating relative improvement. In the book Predictably Irrational, the author Dan Ariely mentions an experiment where participants were offered two sets of offers. One set included a $59 internet-only subscription or a $125 internet and print subscription. The other set also included a $59 internet-only subscription but added both a $125 print subscription and a $125 internet and print subscription. Can you guess which set generated the most revenue? It was the second set, generating nearly 45% more revenue compared to the first set. Just the presence of a less desirable print-only subscription made the other offers seem more appealing. Companies can essentially compete within their own product range and generate more revenue. But those are the more obvious tricks. Let's talk about some smaller tactics companies use. For example, they might slightly increase the font size of products they want to sell. It's a subtle change, but subconsciously, we perceive it as something more attention-worthy. Another trick is to offer customers better but not overwhelming choices. Amazon is a master at this. They not only have a wide range of products, but they also organize them in a way that shows customers what they're most likely to buy. Other companies sometimes bombard customers with too many flashy options, especially during Black Friday sales, which ends up confusing them and making the purchase decision even harder. Companies go to great lengths to make customers feel more comfortable spending money. And one surprising way they achieve this is through olfactory association. Olfactory refers to our sense of smell, and believe it or not, smell plays a significant role in our overall sensory experience. In fact, some reports suggest that as much as 75% of our sensations are related to smell. It's no wonder then that memories associated with certain smells are the strongest and most easily recalled. Take McDonald's for example. The fast food giant puts as much effort into crafting the smell of their restaurants as they do with creating their menu items. Why? because the feeling of familiarity is crucial to the McDonald's brand. They want going to McDonald's to become a generational tradition, where people who went there as children later take their own kids there. That distinct smell in their restaurants is so vital to the experience that there are even reports suggesting McDonald's infuses the smell into the cleaning liquid used by their staff. This olfactory marketing strategy is not limited to the fast food industry. We've all heard of the new car smell or the new sneaker smell. These are all intentional elements of a company's efforts to build a recognizable image, even if we don't consciously see it. Singapore Airlines, known for its exceptional service, employs a similar tactic. They provide hot towels to passengers at the start of every flight. Seemingly just a nice gesture, but in reality, it serves to deepen the brand image in our minds. The towels and even the cabin interior are infused with the airline's own brand fragrance, creating a sensory experience that extends beyond what we see or touch. Of course, smell can also work against a company. Starbucks, for instance, reportedly removed some sandwiches from their menu because they had a strong egg smell that interfered with the coffee-centric aroma customers have grown to love. Now you might wonder whether these tactics are ethical. Well, like any debate, there are two sides to the coin. Marketers argue that by using these techniques, they better understand what customers want and enhance their shopping experience. On the flip side, it opens up the possibility of attention sabotage, something that social media platforms have already been criticized for. Regardless on where you stand on ethics, one thing is clear: we have less control over our purchasing decisions than we might think. We often find ourselves buying things we don't really need, all in an effort to impress people we may not even like. It's a complex interplay between our senses, emotions, and the strategies employed by savvy marketers. And there you have it, a glimpse into the captivating world of neuromarketing and the ways in which it subtly influences our decisions. Remember, knowledge is power, and by understanding these techniques, we can become more conscious consumers and protect ourselves from manipulation. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more mind-boggling insights into the intricate workings of human behavior. Stay tuned for our next exploration into the fascinating world of psychology and beyond.